Right, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Planet Coaster 2 with Cookie Pirate. Today we're going back to the Tropical Park to try out a few new things. I say let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Good to be back after a short vacation. Of course did a Flight Sim stream earlier, had a late start. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this tonight, but I think I do. With that said, I think it's going to be a pretty short stream tonight. Maybe an hour to an hour and a half tops. I'm pretty tired. I need to get some rest. But I definitely did want to spend a little time in this game tonight. So here we are. We've got all this pirate stuff. I do kind of like this little outpost pirate restaurant sort of thing, but I'm thinking we could do more with it and reduce the footprint of it a little bit. I like this guy with the barrel playing the drums. We got the lady pirate playing the violin or the fiddle or whatever, and the monkey with the accordion and missing a tooth. Oh, I just caught on to that. That's like a remake of the Planet Coaster theme. That's cool. What I'm thinking we could do is reprofile this restaurant. And with all of the terrain changing back here, what I'm honestly thinking of doing is scrapping this. I'd like to keep the wooden coaster. It could be relocated, perhaps. And what I would do is make the water bigger over here in the center and have the park path kind of go out this way. Have your rides and everything close to the train station or something, but I'm not totally sure. This can't really be moved. The terrain just works too well with how this is set up here. So I really don't want to mess with it. But this could definitely be brought in, or the scenery could be brought out closer. We've got a lot of undeveloped land, and I think we could do something different with the water here. Kind of pathing it together. We've got our nice little custom-built waterfall over here. But with this restaurant, I'm thinking if we could give it... I like the idea of the open tables, and then you have these with the covering, the canopies and stuff. But you have to walk kind of over... I like having them walk over the jetty. It feels kind of realistic of a... kind of a pirate theme. But there probably could be some more buildings. We could have this in the background of that as opposed to just off by the side. Maybe put the ship behind it or out here more in the open. But I haven't fully decided what I want to do with that. But one thing that came to mind was to try to do a, believe it or not, and this may sound odd and out of place, but I wanted to do like a pirate-themed go-kart track. Now, it may make more sense to do a dark ride or something, but having a go-kart drive through like a little pirate village could actually be fun and draw people over here. Because we really don't have anything to entice people to come this way. I think most people are just using it kind of in transit to get to this stuff back here. Maybe these two coasters, which both sit very far back. There's really nothing forward for them to come and enjoy. So what I think I'm going to do is remove the water. Oh, come on. Let's remove the water. I do want to keep this. But I think we could route this a little bit differently. What I think we'll do, let's reduce the intensity. I don't want to make it too deep. Oh, we should do sampled or maybe selected. Maybe tie it into here. Smooth that out a little bit. And then with all this back here, it really doesn't make sense to leave that land sticking up. This needs to be above ground for the coaster supports. It doesn't per se, but I think it would look better that way. So let's come around with that. Smooth that out, lower it. We could round that out even a little bit better. I want to make these drop-offs into the water a little bit more gradual and less kind of steep. Okay. So that's a bit better. Let's go ahead and do a little painting over this. Now we'll turn it up to 100. And just brush kind of these edges a bit. We can also do that when we get the water back in place. Let's try to soften a little bit of these drop-offs. This is fine. And then we could even have it connect under a bridge here. Let's level this. Whoa! Now we definitely want to do sample right here. Let's bring this all back together. Might almost even make sense to do just a small channel of water over. Oh, that looks rough. Yeah. Let's do a little something with this. I don't want to bring that terrain up too much. Definitely kind of smoothing it out to where it's just not basically a cliff into the water. I think would be a more effective and visually appealing way of getting that scenery a little better. And we could connect it back through here or up here. Maybe even under here. I'm not sure. We'll smooth it here. Or not smooth, but flatten it. We could even bring that to tie in kind of here. We'll use the brush on some of that stuff here in a bit. Tell you what, let's do this right here. Let's just have it come right through here. What I don't want to do is mess up the foundation of this building. Let's turn the size down. Whoa! That's a little too much. And that should be okay there. And we can go ahead and place them all back. And that looks right. Alright. Now the only thing about doing that though is now this kind of extends the land extends out here, which really isn't part of the pirate themed area, but we can always go back and do a little work on that. Alright, let's do some painting here quick, kind of try to get this looking a little bit better. Oh, we've got this weird. Honestly, we could beach that over too. That should be okay for now. Alright. So we've got more land over here to work with. And you know, one thing I've thought of doing is going into the workshop and grabbing some really nice, like, pirate-themed buildings and facilities and stuff like that. That would make it so I wouldn't have to handcraft everything. Which, when it comes to, like, ride stations and stuff, I'm okay with, but really elaborate scenery tends to be a little more difficult for me. And it's also very time-consuming, and not something I would prefer to spend a ton of time doing on stream. So I think we'll look into doing that at some point. Almost nobody's really using this. It looks really old. It is really old. We could add a new one somewhere. Thinking back here with all of this just open land could be a good place, but we'd have to designate an area to cut off this. And this is weird, because this all kind of goes up this way, but you go over a bridge, and then you'd have to transition the scenery. Which we've kind of done up here, but not as effectively as I would like. So, tell you what we'll do. Let's actually go ahead and get a go-kart track in place. So, the very last one here. Rotate it a little bit. Oh, it would be cool to have it go underneath or through the coaster or something like that, but I'm not sure that we will be able to do that. Especially given that a lot of the track sits low to the ground. You could have it go through here. That might be tough. But let's give people something kind of over in this area. So what I think we'll do is we'll bring it out a little bit. Kind of up here. We need enough room for like a building or a canopy. And let's actually start from the back. Build the station a little bit longer. That'll allow us to have more go-karts, but I think right there. And let's go ahead and just have a nice, easy turn. We can actually go in and turn the angle snap back on. Yeah, that'll give us a good run. Out to the end. Whoop! Undo. Let's actually go ahead. I want to move this slightly, but I want to make sure we don't cut power to anything that needs it, so... We could actually... I think we could put it back here. So let's do that. Okay, so our... Let's just smooth that back over. So that allows for 16. I think the maximum is 20. It might be 24. From here, let's actually have it go. Yep. Now it's 18, 20. Okay, so 20 is the maximum, so we can take... That's pretty good there. So let's just set up a nice little... we may have to actually move that in to make sure that ours just out of range. And if we move it there, it is good, and it still supplies power to everything, so nice. Hey, back in. What's going on, man? Welcome. I'm doing okay. Little tired. I just got home from vacation today, so this isn't going to be a long stream for me. I'm going to try to go maybe another 45 minutes to an hour. And we'll probably do more with this. Let's have him go right out of here. We can do like some fun little twists and turns. We can give it a little obstacle course. Have it open up. You can also narrow this for a nice little interesting effect. You can do a sharp turn. What I'm thinking maybe here we'll give him... No. You know what? Let's have the bridge go up this way, I think. Because that'll put it too close to the coaster. We could have it go over here, though. Not a totally even turn. It kind of rounds out. What's the longest this... Whoa, that actually is a lot longer than I thought. Let's put it there. Oh, no, with the length of that, I think we need to keep this as short as we can. Make sure it's high enough that it can cross over. Now people will be able to... Yeah, that should be okay. Perfect. How about a nice little straightaway? Maybe we'll have the track open up after that. Yeah. Now we'll have this nice open section. Let's do away with that. Let's give him a little bit of a turn. Let's make that a little tighter. Shorter section. let's start it down, and then we'll do the turn. Let's make it tighter here. Ah, and there's just that tiny, tiny bit of overlap. Alright, so the way we'll do that is lengthen it just a little bit. Start it down here. It's actually a tad bit high. Let's try that now. Oh, that doesn't work. Let's try something a little different here. I guess we could do that. Middle section. Yeah, give a nice little strip to run. Needs to be longer a bit, you think? Than the curve down. Oh, kind of right up here. Good try, that's the maximum right there. And they're pretty much at the same height. Let's go with that right there. I think that should be fine. Give him a little zigzag, maybe? Tell you what. Let's not narrow it. Give him that nice sharp turn. Now if we did that, we'd have to repath this. So here's what we could do. About to throw you on the TV and roll a doobie. Alright, man. Be safe. So we'd actually end up having to reconfigure this right here. Now we could do that with a very, very subtle Ooh, that is like a really sharp hairpin turn right there. Not going anywhere. Oh, okay, yeah, good. Yeah, I don't know how I like that, honestly. It just looks a bit off. Now, we could do the smoothing tool. That makes it better. Well, that should be okay. Now, let's go in here and change. Tell you what, because these are getting elevated, I think what we should do is in all of these sections, let's add those railings. I think that would look a lot more realistic. Same thing here. Any of these elevated track sections. For realism purposes. You like the sharp turn into the finish line? Yeah. Now, what I'm wondering, it would be cool if we could have this flat just for a really nice... I mean, I guess they'll get the momentum to just race ahead. It's probably fine the way it is. I don't want to overthink this. It's just a go-kart track. I think that's good. Let's give it a quick test run. You can do 2 laps. You can do... yeah, let's do 2 laps. That one car is just way ahead of everybody else. Yeah, you can see him be able to raise up in the straightaway. He spun out in that curve. Oh gosh. He did it again up here. Oh, and now he's not in first place anymore. Oh, now he spun out. Uh-oh. And he gets back in head, but there's a second lap. Wow. Alright, while that is testing, let's go ahead and set some paths up. Let's see here. Let's keep that straight for now. We'll tie that in at the end. I want to build the cube first. This shouldn't be super long because I don't think people will wait a long time. Especially since it has decent capacity. So let's go into the queue. Choose the type. Go with these wood ones, or we can go with the rustic. Let's actually build this. Kind of cut back and forth this way. Might need a long queue for go-karts. Yeah, but people will be waiting a real long time. That probably... I think that should be okay. And then we just tie it back in, kind of here. They wait for that ride for some reason. Even what you think is too long, they will fill up. Yeah, that is true. Oh, whoops. Undo that. I want to make sure that it's angled right. Yeah, right there is good. And let's see the test results. Not bad. That's actually 6 on the excitement. That's really good. Alright. Alright, not the most clever name. Captain's Karts. Purposely with a K. That ride is open, and we should be good to go. Now, what we'll need to do is add some scenery and stuff. And I think these over here should probably get moved. So let's do this. As soon as that guy gets what he was looking for. There we go. Now let's just pick all of these up and move them. Now we've got the power issue. What do we have over here? Some more food options. Honestly, we could put those over here. And then it would just be... The thing about that is then you have all of this area with, like, nothing. So I think probably the best place for them, in keeping with the theme without breaking it too much, might be... No, that's a little far off. Maybe right there. I think that should be okay. We will need to move this. You know what? I think we'll actually need to add one. Yep, because it doesn't cover all of that. So, let's leave that as is for right now. Oh, we have another one here. What does this go to? Nothing. Move that back there for now. Small gap in coverage. Let's line that up a little bit better. Honestly, we could put it back here, then it's out of the way. Okay, so now let's go in and just redo a couple of those cables. Well, they're all connected now, so I think we're good. Alright, well, the ride is open. People will make their way over, I think. It'd be cool to build a building, throw some pirate scenery down over here. Let's go in and see what's available without downloading anything. No real blueprints. Yeah, so we'd have to add some stuff. We could do custom buildings and stuff. I may do that at a later time. What we could do, though, let's get this thing colored. Painted kind of in a more appropriate theme. So pirate colors, I'm thinking what we would do is go with a darker red. And instead of this blue color, maybe a gold. Maybe brown. Is that too similar to the gold? I don't think so. Tell you what, we could actually look by doing it this way. No, that's a decent enough contrast. You've got the gold, the brown, red. We'll do red on that side. And dark gray, almost black. Now these red bars, I think, are going to match the track support colors. Actually, they have no effect. Look at that. The red stripes are on there no matter what. But that's okay. It actually fits. So we don't have to worry about that. It doesn't affect that at all. So maybe a dark... No. Maybe that color for the ocean, I guess. Yeah, I think that's okay. Then you get the red on each car. Now let's mess with the track. So area 2 is going to be these railings. Let's go with brown. Maybe we can make the supports kind of brown. That changes that. Oh, that fire brick. That actually looks good because then you have the yellow stripes, the black tires, and then the asphalt. Whoa! Yeah, let's go into that and see manual. Let's make it a little darker. Kind of gives you that kind of weathered asphalt look. Kind of like that. So let's do that there. I think that's a pretty decent color scheme. Yeah, the fire brick does look pretty neat. Alright, so we're good with that. Hopefully some people will get on it. We'll give it a little bit of time. Maybe what we could do is pare back some of this terrain to have it start along the beach, like right here. Oh, people won't ride it. Let's turn the price down. I don't think it needs a priority pass. And if we go back into scenery, we'd have to do some custom stuff with this. I don't really want to do that right now. Could make that bigger. That would actually be pretty cool. How many people are wanting to ride it? Well, with the price turned down, we'll see. That should help. I forgot that started with a price set. One thing that reminds me to do is just check. Let's look at all of the rides and make sure that they're... Oh, yeah. No, people wouldn't go on that. All the rides should be free in the park. I mean, we're playing in Sandbox. There's really no reason to charge. Definitely a tunnel over the long straightaway. We could do that. We could do that, I think, with terrain. We'd have to do a little bit of terrain tweaking and some scenery stuff. I'm not going to mess with that. Let's just get people going to them. You know, get them using it first. That takes up a lot of land. My thought was originally to have it go out over the water if I was going to redo some of the terrain out here, but I don't think I'm going to do that. right now, so. We do have people come into the restaurant. I do want to try to clean this up a bit. It'd be really nice to have some more scenery around here. I wish... That's one thing that I've been a little bit critical of, is the lack of blueprint scenery for these themes that they've added in, which is really great. The fact that they added the pirate and the fairy tale, the sci-fi, the western themes, all of that stuff. But because they're all just the individual scenery pieces, it takes forever, and there are no blueprints that you can use. So it does make those, in my opinion, a little more difficult to put together, because you have to be able to do really intricate scenery pieces or go onto the workshop and get stuff, and that's not something I'm looking at doing right now. I mean, I would definitely consider it in the near future, but not something I want to mess with tonight. I was honestly surprised you didn't add any water section to the go-kart. I mean, we could. I wanted to get the layout down first, but I cleaned a lot of this up to be able to build it, and we can redo the landscaping to have it go out over water or something like that. But I'll leave that for a later time. Probably only going to be on another 20-30 minutes, I think. I'm pretty tired. It's been a long day. And I'm not totally sure ultimately what I want to do with this park. If I want to keep it as is, redo a bunch more stuff, or if I want to try to start this over and kind of set out the areas, the layout better. Not ready to take this out, but Jimpers, a week ago maybe, built a really nice updated version of this coaster that I would love to add in. I just have to figure out how to fit it. In fact, let me take a look at that. I'm not saying that I'll do this tonight, but basically where it's at, it would come out this way, and it has this nice little T-shape to it. So we just have to make sure it fits. Dale, what's going on? Why are my notifications not working? Thank God you're back. Man, I appreciate it. I don't know about the notifications. Excited to see this updated coaster. I've got to figure out where to put it though, because it won't. So the problem with kind of having this expanded configuration, which is nothing that I can blame Jimpers for. The thing is, it has a unique layout which won't allow it to fit in the place of this. So the most logical thing would be to do this, but then it goes so far out over the front of the park into the water area. The best bet would probably be to move it back here. Sideways in the front, you think so? I'm not sure I would want it to go out over the front with the RMC. Just given all the... I think that would take away a little bit visually. One thing I talked about is possibly moving these two coasters to the back of the park and allowing it to fit a little bit more sideways out here. But I'm not sure yet. The other possibility would be out over here, but then it extends right out into the water with the pirate area. that becomes difficult. Because this coaster really isn't longer than the original one, but it is considerably wider, and it's also angled. You could do something like that and then move this path. It's for perceived perception or whatever it's called. Trying to remember the term. I know what you're talking about. Kind of gives people something to see and get excited about when they come into the park. That could work. We would certainly have to move this coaster. We might not have to move this one. When in doubt, build it underground. Oh, no, not with this. You want that to stick up. Like, it just looks so good. We'd have to save this. This would go away. We'd have to rebuild this terrain, kind of the tunnel on this ride. But this is really chaotic up here anyway, so it could be a decent opportunity. But it's also, this is gaining a good bit of popularity, so I don't want to mess with it at the moment. That is tough. Other option is to do away with all this and put that back of the park, have it run out here. If we did that... Yeah, actually take a look at that. That would go really well. This would have to get moved forward. Front left and call it a day. Alright. Oh no, everybody just got off the ride. Well, alright, you know what? We're gonna shut it down. Let's just shut it down. Do away with it. We can start reworking all of this, because this is a very sloppy area of the park. I thought we did this. I might not have saved over it. And I think what we'll do is just start working. How can you queue for it? It's closed. Oh, because he's on the ride platform? Ah. He'll go away when we remove the ride. He'll get relocated to somewhere else. Alright, let's go ahead and clean all of this up. Clean it up, I should say, demo it. And let's start kind of laying the groundwork for this. Ride shouldn't have anybody else on it. It doesn't. That's just a test run. Alright. Let's go ahead and take it out. And then... let's do a multi-select. Oops. Move all of these. We'll hook that back up to the new one, but we're gonna move that all over here for now. Oh, they're all floating. Ah! that there for now. It's floating a little bit. Heh, no worries. Then the next thing we can do is to start cleaning this up. Then we'll do the same thing with these, but I want to move them to try to preserve them to the degree possible. So let's... move the staff room. Right over here should be okay. Although without power we'll have to... Let's just move that there for temporarily. That could probably go away. And then, now that these are shut down, let's go multi-select. 1, 2, 3. Move all of these over here. And again, all of this is just on a temporary basis, so I don't want to delete them outright, but I want to get them out of the way for when we get these in place. So select this. Clearing a few of these trees out. So we'll try to redo some of the terrain up here. These are a little too close to the edge, so they won't go away. These are all things that I placed. So now, some of this maybe I didn't do, but most of it I think back there I did. Actually, I think I did place this because it was kind of in the area of the coaster. Alright, let's keep that. These. Whoop. Alright. There we go. We could do the rounding tool right there. Perfect. Delete this back here. This here was a holdover from the original Kraken ride. That's exactly where the Batwing was. Alright, let's turn that off. These will have to be deleted by hand if we don't want to mess all that up. That can't be... Oh yeah, it's outside the boundary. We may end up reconfiguring some of this too, I don't know. Okay. Let's actually smooth all of this over. Seems like it might make sense to actually keep some of that elevated, but I just want to clean this up first. Get rid of some of these cliffs and make them more like rolling hills, like they were before. That's a bit wonky. That's okay. That doesn't look great, but we can smooth it out and adjust it a bit. Oh, yeah, it actually goes up even more steeply over here. Okay. Alright, let's go back and pull the coaster up. Right there. And... so you can't even really see the map edge. That would have it coming up this way. So I think if we want to have that here... Oh, that's gonna be really tough. All of that's gonna be moved. Alright. So... we might end up doing the jungle cliffs, I don't know. Now, based on the way that the ride lays in place, we can always rework this. That's the problem. This tree hangs over. Yep, can't delete it, so that doesn't look good. Let's just clean up what we can. Flatten as much of this as possible. And we can work backwards. Alright. We could do something like that. That's probably the best placement I could come up with. It would likely require us to reroute a few things. But let's see how does that look. Uh-oh. Well, I can already tell you right away there's a couple problems. Some simple terrain modification would fix some of that here. But that weaves under that ride. She's a beaut, Clark. Yeah, right. I don't think that's gonna work. this might end up being the best way to run the ride back here. And we would have to move the Schwarzkopf. That's what they call good interactions. Well, the problem is, it's a little bit too close. This would actually be my ideal choice. Have people get on the ride, have them kind of come through the jungle area. You could make a tunnel back through here, through this turn. We could relocate the Schwarzkopf. But it would fit into this plot of land nicely, and then we could just do a little terrain work to kind of clean it up. So that's what I'm thinking we would probably end up having to do, is moving this ride. This one could stay. Yeah, that doesn't really look great. I mean, we could definitely fix it up with some scenery and stuff, but I think the best thing to do would be to move this out of the way, maybe further back here, because this all is junk. And get that in place. That just isn't... I don't think that's going to work where it's currently at. So do we have people getting on the go-karts? Not really. It doesn't look like it's cut off. People should be getting on this. Everything is connected. I don't know. I'm a little baffled as to why people aren't. People hate go-karts, unfortunately. I love them. When in doubt, build up. Yeah. I mean, I could definitely raise it, but then the problem is, it still runs right out into the middle of this with a bunch of kind of vertical pieces over here in the way. It's just too cluttered over here, so I think we'll play around with that configuration. Maybe I'll spend some time off stream moving stuff and kind of cleaning this part of the park up. Because this over here just really doesn't get much attention. I'll need to look around a little bit to that. Make an entire roof to build on top of? Oh my gosh. That's a radical idea. Yeah, I think we're gonna move this and spin it around, and we can... I'm thinking of just... I didn't do this initially, but I'm thinking of just kind of scattering some various flat rides into some of these areas to just give people something to do in between the coasters and the shops. And we could definitely theme them more, but again too, I'm not sure. I might end up just restarting this part at a later date, but I'm gonna save right here and exit out of the park. And I want to take a look at something, so we're gonna go back to the main menu. And I do want to look at 2 sandbox parks. Career templates, yeah. Okay, so I was in the right place. I just clicked the wrong, or failed to click this. So, but these are from the campaigns. But I've thought about starting a new park off of this. This would be a really good pirate themed one. I love this because you have all this water. You have enough room that you can work with the land, but the backdrop is just perfect for like a pirate or tropical themed, like a Polynesia park. Like with a surf coaster and then a bunch of like pirate themed rides. It's a little bit of a small map. It's not too bad actually. It's actually not. It's not bad. Look at templates on the workshop. Yeah, I'll check them out. Pretty sad. Yeah, I just need to do some reconfiguring, I think. I like to try to keep most of the same stuff. I would love, actually, to take that park and let other people do their magic. Things that I'm not so good at. Let people who are better than me at those things, come in and work their magic, and I can focus on the strengths. But I really do like this map. That could be a ton of fun to work with. And it's actually, the amount of land is better than I thought of. I like this a lot. Perfect for a pirate-themed park, which I've talked about doing. Let me go out of that. And there was one other that I wanted to look at. It's a pretty bad template now that I'm... Oh, I just pulled it before I could read it. Ah! This one, it's kind of got the little pier. Oh, this one has almost no room to work with. Runs right out to the edge of the beach. That's very little room to work with. Little better out this direction. Doable, but in my opinion, not ideal. I like the other one better. But I think building a really massive park could, in a sense, work against you. Because there's so much more to take care of and everything. I might open it up for a vote. I'm getting ready to end the stream because I'm getting really tired. It's been a long day. And the last one, I think, not bad. Oh, that could be really fun for a mythology, the Lazy River Styx. That was an amazing career park, and they started a new park on that template with how good it looks. I think you were right with the backdrop. Which one? The Paradise Lost with the skull entrance? Oh, this one is... It just feels like it really boxed in. That's cool though, this is the first time I've seen these in use, the ferries that take you over. That serve as the park entrance instead of the buses or the platforms. But this is a very small amount of land to work with. But I just love how it's got the ocean in the background. So it would probably for me come down to one of those three, but I'm leaning toward the first one, the skull one. And that wouldn't really replace the tropical park, so to speak. But I'm thinking it would be nice to spend some time doing something totally new. Let me go back into the tropical and just do a couple last minute things before I call it a night. Paradise Lost, yeah. In my opinion, that probably is the best of the three. And there is a ton of water in the middle that you can clean up and have land over, or you could do boardwalks in different sections and stuff. I think there's a lot of versatility with that, whereas the other ones, it's just a plot of land against the backdrop of the ocean, and you can't really expand out into it. No, let me go back out, actually. Because I've been thinking about this... Oh, hiccup, I'm sorry. But I haven't really done any of these other than, like, the prologue. So... what are y'all's thoughts? Is that something you would be interested in? Is if I do the careers? Because that could be a lot of fun. And I only did the first two way back in January when I first got the game, when my old computer was still working. So, maybe I'll open up a poll. But I'm kind of thinking I just want to try to move away from the tropical park, give it a rest for a little while. Because I'm kind of up for building some new coasters, some new themed areas, stuff like that. No, please don't. Okay. Then I can do something off of just a template and start something from scratch. I'm totally fine with that. But I'll think a little bit about what I want to do. And maybe as early as this weekend, I'll start a brand new park on that Paradise Lost. And it would just fit the pirate theme so well. And then, like the surf coaster and a couple other kind of water themed stuff. Don't do career mode. I'll keep that in mind then. I mean, I want to do it at some point 100% the game and the achievements and stuff, but maybe I'll do that off stream or... I don't know. I might do it at some point, but... I definitely like being more creative, so... But guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I'm tired, I'm gonna get myself ready for bed. I know it was a pretty short stream. I appreciate you all hanging out. We'll be back on tomorrow. Probably Flight Sim and Planet Coaster again. I'm gonna try to get a little earlier of a start. But... I'll figure it out. We'll definitely be back on tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate you all. And until tomorrow, y'all take care. Stay safe. I'm getting ready to hit the hay. Night Bro Flight Sim was badass. Oh man, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a beautiful flight. So, we'll pick back up with both games tomorrow. And yeah, again, take care, stay safe. We'll see ya.